We are in the midst of a sixth mass extinction caused by human activities that is mainly called industrial civilization or technological civilization. So let's read my poem. So I have prepared a brochure that you can download. I have a video about that, so you can download this beautiful brochure. Um, and I have a poem here. So let's read this poem, and then we will look at the news about a woman who is trying to preserve a minuscule amount of nature that has been left that she finds valuable. And we can have a feel of how the governments, the corporations, the technological civilization behaves towards nature. So my poem is called We Are the Savages. I have been inspired by a quote, basically this quote: "The savage is not the one who lives in the forest, but the one who destroys it." So let's read the poem and remind ourselves. I think we should remind every day ourselves this, because basically every day we have been brainwashed. We are being brainwashed by the corporate propaganda that is trying to enslave us towards the direction of their sick, ill um, goals. And as animals, as beings that are um, fundamentally compassionate beings who seeks for connections, basically we are being led by fear, and we are being led by fear and uh, brainwashing into uh, an ill culture, into destruction, into the technological civilization, um, to work under corporations to destroy nature, each day being enslaved and feeling um, desperate in a way. But we have been so brainwashed that some of us have learned to ignore that feeling. But when we really see that the direction that the corporations are going is not the direction that we really wish to go, it's because we are just following this because we have been forced into it, we have been brainwashed into it, we have fears, so we are guided by fear, most of us. So if you just drop your fears and have a hard look at the reality, you will see that all these things that I am telling you is the truth. We are the savages, drifted away from nature, lost in the literature. We traded freedom for security, chasing the imaginary, convincing that it is necessary. Destruction became compulsory. Docile rings in a command chain, losing more than what we gained. We locked, choked, and chopped the terrain. We have been told it is part of the game. The indigenous people are lame. We traded convenience with life as if they are the same. We thought nature was inadequate. We can do better. Interpreting life as competition rather than living together. It is hard to distinguish the winner from the loser. Do you see a society with hands made of bulldozer? Maybe you are away, need to come closer. Machines, jobs, and schools. Investment, savings, profits, growth, and tech gurus. Does it matter anymore to be courageous? Forget the happiness and truth. We are after wages. Disregarded what we were for ages. We are the savages. Right now. We were not the savages. We are the savages. We have become the savages due to the enslavement by the technological civilization. We have enslaved ourselves in our stupidity, in our fears, in our own arrogance. Um, so let's go to the this news that I just wanted to mention in the first place. I have read this poem to you before, but it is like you need to read it almost every day. You can just read it every morning to remind yourself what is going on. She has been growing a garden for monarch butterflies for 2 decades. So why did the city mow it down? So this lady here, she has left some connections to nature. She sees the value and she just wants to protect the last thing that she can protect. That she has some land, a bunch, a few meters squared probably, right? It's small amount of land she has left that she just wants to protect. Like the whole world is being destroyed by corporations, and she has this bunch, few square meters of land that she decided to let it rewild to protect it, right? And the wise government, the wise corporations, the wise technological civilization, industrial civilization, how it reacts to such an event. Um, because basically, rewilding doesn't bring profits. It doesn't match the industrial civilization. Visually, it doesn't match the industrial civilization in any way. A wild land would is the most beautiful land. But if you destroy the rest and just leave a patch of wild land to a brainwashed eye, that little patch of the beautiful picture might look as out of place. That's the problem with most people who have been brainwashed into the industrial technological civilization. Imagine a beautiful, beautiful picture, and almost all of it has been destroyed, and a little patch survives. And the rest of the uh, picture is being painted by someone who doesn't know anything about art, who's just um, painting by force. They have been forced and just said like paint something. They're just um, drawing some lines, and this little patch that has been left on this beautiful art, to an brainwashed, uneducated eye, it would look out of place. And because it's so beautiful, it doesn't match the whole landscape. And many brainwashed people by propaganda will judge that beautiful art, such as human body. I mean, when someone walks on the streets naked, we say this is out of, like most people would say, you should wear some clothes, this is not good, it doesn't look good. It's the same phenomena that is going on. There is a supreme, beautiful art of nature being judged as out of place because we have destroyed the whole uh, art, and we just built some half art. It's not even like, just something artificial with fear. We don't even build it out of love. We built it for money. We built it from fear of going hungry. We built it mostly out of fear. And we just look at this thing that was the representation of harmony, the highest form of love, because it's such a small patch of peace there, such as a garden or a naked body of a human or anything that is natural left in this society. These brainwashed people just look at it and say, this is out of place. This doesn't belong here. Well, something doesn't belong here, but it's not that patch of land. Maybe you don't belong here. So Susan McKee given a ticket. she got a punishment. Um, I don't know, interesting is listed. Okay, so she got a punishment for rewilding, for letting the nature grow in her garden. Did this woman, like, I mean, imagine the system that is doing this to her. Imagine the awareness of the system that is doing this to her. Susan McKee returned from her summer vacation earlier this month only to discover that her naturalized pollinator garden, once filled with endangered monarch butterflies and bees, was gone. It's all chopped down. Everything just chopped to the ground. So she did this for nearly 20 years. She was aware. She just had the awareness to return back to her roots, which is nature, but this fucking system took it back, destroyed it. The system said, no, 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 you can't go back to your roots, you can't have the good thing, you can't have the good stuff. We will destroy you. We will destroy any connection that you have with the nature. You belong to us. You are our slave. You can't have any connections to the nature anymore. That's what the system said. Okay? Don't mistaken. That's what the technological system said exactly. Okay? If you think about it enough, you realize it's the technological system versus the nature. And that's what the system said. You are a slave, you belong to us. You are either of the side of nature or you side with us. You either take the side of nature and go try to live in nature, or you take the side of the technological civilization and you better behave well, or we will not let you survive. Be a good slave. The technological civilization told her to be a good slave. So basically, you can just read the whole thing. I mean, you can just go to this website and London Monarch Garden chopped, and you can find this article and you can read. So basically, bees and butterflies, etc. So just there are many endangered species, but she tried to do her best for the bees and the butterflies, but basically her neighbors thought that this is something ugly because these neighbors have been brainwashed by technological civilization, and their vision of beauty is anti-nature. Think about that. Okay, their if you like cars, if you like houses, or like fancy clothes, or like cities, buildings, skyscrapers, technological civilization. If you found robots, find robots like something to be impressed, you have been brainwashed into being anti-nature. And these people basically just saw that nature is trying to grow back, flourish again, and they said, this looks ugly, this is out of place, this doesn't belong here, because, well, nature, it's not that the nature doesn't belong in the technological civilization. It's the problem that technological civilization doesn't belong in nature. But these people can't realize it because they have been too much brainwashed that they can't even think that maybe nature is not the problem. Maybe we are the problem, that we are just destroying everything, and just um, when we see nature, it is something out of place, because maybe we are out of place here. They are too brainwashed to realize this. So it is sad. It is something must be done about this if we want to survive as humans, as biological beings. Watch my documentary The Connections 2021, short documentary. It's on YouTube on my channel. If you can debunk it, adapt it. If you can't debunk it, you have the responsibility by the precautionary principle to share my documentary, because if you can't debunk it, then there is a huge risk that uh, we are going to destroy everything that we value. It's no wonder that the government or this technological civilization, the city, the council, whatever, took the decision without hesitation to destroy her garden. The whole thing, the whole phenomena of the technological civilization is basically anti-nature. It is enslaving you. It is like the corporations telling you, this is your or the education system, this is your life purpose, you need to follow this road, you should follow this road. You are not this. You're not corporations. You're not your schooling system. You are a human. You belong to nature. Find your true meaning, like this woman tried to do with rewilding her garden. No one told her. The government didn't tell her, oh, let's revive your garden. The corporations, she didn't. No one paid her to revive her garden. She realized that she is nature, and you need to realize this and stand up and be anti-technology. Don't follow what the corporations or your education is telling you to do. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. I hope this made sense. If it didn't make sense, then watch my documentary again, The Connections 2021 short documentary. Is quite crucial to realize the situation that we are in. It is a very dire situation. It is sick. It is depressing if you really understand it. And we can do something about it if more and more people realize what is going on. But if you keep your delusions, if you keep being brainwashed by the propaganda from governments, corporations, education system, basically the technological civilization, if you keep being brainwashed by technological civilization, you will not realize these facts, and you will die without being yourself. You will die as a slave.